All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the LGBTQ Virtual College Fair, sponsored by the New Jersey Association for College Admission Counselors and powered by StriveScan. Each school in attendance today has taken an active step in building their LGBTQ plus communities. By participating in this fair, they have acknowledged wanting LGBTQ plus students in their greater communities. Additionally, we have utilized the Campus Pride Index to show an objective rating as to where the policies of each institution falls in terms of LGBTQ plus friendliness. The school participating today has a Campus Pride Index score. You can find the score listed next to their name at strivescan.com/LGBTQ. The Pride Index is always a good place to start with your search, but it should not be the only place that you look. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions that's happening this evening, and recordings of all of them will be available within about a week's time at strivescan.com/LGBTQ. I'd now like to get started with our presentations, and we'll begin this evening with Quinnipiac University.
Thank you, Owen. Hello, everyone. My name is Katie Strong, she, her, and I'm an Associate Director of Undergraduate Admissions at Quinnipiac University. For those that are not familiar, we're located in Hamden, Connecticut, just outside of the city of New Haven. We are made up of 3 campuses. We have our traditional Mount Carmel campus, which is where all of our students begin their experience, and it's where we offer our housing for first and second year students, the majority of our undergraduate classes, traditional student life. You can see the library behind me and my photo. That's really where you're going to find all of our students hanging out, frisbee throwing on the quad, that traditional type environment. And we also have Sleeping Giant State Park right across the street. So if you're into hiking at all, it's a really great place and beautiful views in the springtime and early fall when all the leaves change. It provides a really nice background to our campus. If you travel just up the road about 4 minutes or so, you will find our York Hill campus. This offers housing for upperclassmen students, our People's United Center, which houses our ice hockey and basketball arenas, and our Rocky Top Student Center. If you picture a ski lodge, that's what the Rocky Top Student Center looks like. It's absolutely stunning, has Adirondack chairs where you can take in the view of the Long Island Sound, downtown New Haven on one side, and then the state park on the other. So it's definitely something that everyone should absolutely check out when they're able to come and see campus. And then the third campus is only relevant for some of our students. The North Haven campus is a very academic campus. No one lives there. It houses our medical school, law school, graduate school of health sciences, our school of nursing, and our graduate school of education. I refer to this campus as suits and scrubs. It's definitely that academic feel versus our Mount Carmel and York Hill campuses that definitely have more of that traditional student life environment for us. I will tell students that there is a shuttle that runs to all 3 campuses, so you do have access to be able to get to all of them. We do find some of our students as upperclassmen driving between the campuses. We're about 10,000 total students, about 7,000 of those undergraduates. We do have a smaller class size. Average class size about 24 students and a student to faculty ratio of 16:1. You won't find large lecture hall style classes with us. I do want to talk a little bit about what student life looks like, and we'll get to that in a minute, but I really want to talk a little bit about our commitment to the LGBTQ plus community. That's why we're all here tonight. We do have gender inclusive housing for all students. We have gender neutral bathrooms, and we'll continue to build more in our newly constructed facilities, including a new athletic and wellness center that will be available and open starting fall 2022, which we're really excited about. And for those of you that are joining this evening and you don't see a Campus Pride Index rating next to us, we have made that commitment for this year to be scored and rated by Campus Pride Index, and we'll have that available to students soon. We do offer counseling services for all students. We've made a commitment to offer training on gender equity, the LGBTQ plus education, allyship, safe spaces, and we've instituted a residential life experience committee with our chief experience officer who oversees all of our non-academic areas, and they will work on building theme housing for students, living learning communities, and other areas of interest for students. And I know that LGBTQ plus housing and themed housing has come up on the docket. So looking forward to hopefully having that in the future for us. We do have a Gender and Sexuality Alliance, which is our GSA student organization. This year, we instituted the LGBTQ plus student retreat, which we hosted about 10 days ago on campus, in person, and not a virtual setting. And we also instituted the LGBTQ plus fellows program, which incorporates staff, faculty, and students that can help promote LGBTQ plus policies on campus and promote different events, opportunities, and things like that, including sitting in a part of that residential life experience committee. Outside of that, we have over 140 student clubs and organizations. We are Division I athletics, and we have 21 programs. We offer club and intramural sports as well. And we do have a 3-year housing requirement for those coming from out of state and non-traditional students. We have over 60 undergraduate majors and several dual degree programs, and those are going to fall into our College of Arts and Sciences, Schools of Business, Communications, Engineering, Health Sciences, and Nursing. Education, Law, and Medicine you'll find at the graduate level. And something unique about Quinnipiac in terms of our academics is we do offer a number of 3+ programs, which are accelerated dual degree that allow you to get your undergrad and graduate degree in a shorter amount of time. So definitely a great opportunity for students who know graduate school is on the horizon. 3+ programs offered in business communications, economics, biology, theater, radiologic sciences, 3+2 in social work offering, and a 3+3 bachelor's to JD program. We're traditional early decision, 2 early action rounds, and a regular admission offering. And we are pretty much test optional for all programs at this point. We do request scores for our 6-year entry-level physician assistant program. It is by far and away our most competitive program. And we encourage students interested in 3+3 law to submit that. We will continue that test optional piece for us for the foreseeable future. It's something that we've been for a while, and we'll continue doing that for students. I'm available if you have any questions at all. Happy to help with anything. And thanks so much for joining.
Great, thank you, Katie. Our next presentation this evening comes to us from the University of South Florida.
Thank you so much. I'm sharing my screen. All right, well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending tonight. We're going to be talking about the University of South Florida. Just to introduce myself, my name is Christy Pugh. I use she, her pronouns, and I am your regional recruiter advisor. I work with students in New Jersey, and I am actually based in New Jersey. So this is, my background is the closest I've gotten to palm trees in a while. But just to give you an idea about the University of South Florida, we are located in the greater Tampa Bay area and do have a total enrollment of around 50,000 students. Even though we are a relatively large public university, we still maintain an average class size of around 33 students. So similar to what you're seeing in high school. As far as diversity goes, we really do pride ourselves on our diversity at USF, with 41.5% of our students coming from diverse backgrounds. And we do have students from all 50 states and 141 different countries. Of those 50 states, our biggest out-of-state population is actually from New Jersey. So we do see a lot of New Jersey students coming down to Florida. And we do offer over 200 majors and concentrations. So odds are, whatever it is you're looking for, we probably have it at USF. We are America's fastest rising university. We are ranked number 46 by US News and World Report. We're very proud of that. Just shows that we're on the right trajectory to the top. And we are one university geographically distributed. So what that means is that when I say USF, I'm referring to all 3 of our campuses in Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Sarasota, Manatee. So each campus offers something a little bit different, a little bit unique. When you apply, you get to choose what campus you want to go to. We do offer gender inclusive housing on 2 of our campuses. So with you coming out of state, I would definitely recommend either our Tampa or St. Petersburg campus. The only reason why we do not have that at Sarasota, Manatee is because we are in the process of building residence halls. So those will be completed in the next couple of years. In regards to student life and support, we do have over 700 student organizations on our campus, so wide variety there, but we do have specific LGBTQ plus organizations such as our Queer and Trans People of Color Collective and our Pride Alliance. Pride stands for People Respecting Individual Diversity and Equality, and that actually started in 1974 and is the oldest continuously funded gay student organization in the state of Florida. And their main goal is to help, advocate and educate students not only on campus, but also in the Tampa community as well. And we do offer some intersectional organizations, like our own chapter of the NAACP, Club de Español, and our Hindu Students Council, just to name a few. That is not all of them. And we do have over 1,000 on-campus events each year. So you could see in the photo there, that's one of the events that occurred pre-COVID. It was a big balloon drop that would happen every semester. So we're really hoping to get back to that soon. And we are at NCAA Division I athletics. So we play in the American Conference, and all athletic events are free for students to attend. So that's really huge, especially considering we are a D1 school. So if you want to go to a football or a basketball game, that is free for students. And we do have living and learning communities as well. So that puts you on a floor with people of the same interest or major as you. And we do have our Stonewall suites, which are specific for our LGBTQ plus community and allied students. It's paying tribute to the Stonewall riots that happened in the 1960s to kind of help kickstart that movement. So it's a really great community and a great way to meet other students on campus. And we do offer our counseling center and our USF Health Center as a resource for our students. We do offer LGBTQ plus affirming healthcare and mental health services as well. Kind of switching gears now, I'm going to run through some freshman admissions information really quick. So you can apply to the University of South Florida 3 ways: the Common App, Coalition App, or USF Admissions website. It doesn't matter which one you choose, just whatever is easiest for you. And our application is pretty straightforward. All we need is a $30 application fee, your official high school transcripts, and your official ACT or SAT test scores. That's it. Our application is strictly based on academic credentials, so because of that, we do not consider supplemental information. This is our cost of attendance, just to give you an estimated cost of what you're looking to pay. You would be looking at that non-resident line, so it's you are an out-of-state student, and you're looking at around $34,000 for tuition fees, housing, books, supplies, and others. And yes, $34,000 is a lot of money, but when you compare that to other out-of-state institutions, our rates are extremely competitive. So Florida has some of the lowest tuition rates in the country. So cost of attendance is definitely something to consider in your college search process, because this is going to be a reoccurring expense for the next 4 to 5 years. One of the ways in which you could offset that tuition cost is through scholarships, and we do offer merit scholarships for our out-of-state students. So these are solely based on merit. So if you have the GPA and you have the test score, you're automatically going to get the scholarship associated with that score and GPA. And this is a 4-year award amount. So winding down with some deadlines, our application opens on July 1, and you want to make sure you apply by January 1. That's our priority application deadline. This is not binding, but it just gives you your best chance of admissions. If you don't meet that January 1 deadline, don't worry, you do have until February 15th to complete your application and be considered for those scholarships I just spoke on. And then May 1 is that admissions deposit deadline. That's pretty standard across the board. But that is everything I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I know that was a lot of information. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat here tonight. And if not, I will put my contact information in the chat as well. But thank you guys so much for listening, and go Bulls.
Great. Thank you so much, Christy. Our next presentation this evening comes to us from RIT.
Hello, everyone. My name is Quinnipiac University. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at RIT. I'm just going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about our wonderful campus. So our main campus is located in Rochester, New York. We have students from all 50 states and over 90 countries. If you count our campuses in China, Croatia, Dubai, Kosovo, and China, we have actually one of the largest private universities here in the country. We have our faculty to staff ratio is about 13:1, and our average classroom size is about 22. If you look at our undergraduate students, we're very diverse. We have international students, and as well as 17% of our students identify as African American, Latin American, or Native American, as well as 10% of our campus is deaf and hard of hearing. So you'll see live captions in our all over our campus and in our events. It's really wonderful, and students will learn American Sign Language during their year just to be able to communicate with our deaf population through NTID. Alongside NTID, which is one of our colleges, we have 8 other colleges, and they range from art, design, business, communication. There's something for everyone, for both STEM and non-STEM, as well as we offer a wide range of minors. If you want to get a master's degree, we do offer accelerated dual degree programs in MBA, Master's of Engineering. There's about 40 opportunities through our programs, and as of next year, you'll actually be able to apply directly into our dual accelerated program as an incoming freshman. one of the best things about RIT, I personally say, is our co-op program. We're one of the oldest and largest cooperative education schools in the world. Students are able to work full-time, tuition-free in their industry as a part of their curriculum. And students can do them in their hometown. So for you guys in New Jersey, all the way here in Rochester, or even overseas, there are plenty of opportunities to work for a big company, small company. Our co-op office will help you land that dream job. And a lot of students will actually be able to maybe land a full-time job after graduation. For students interested in engineering, technology, and computing, you're able, I would say the top example on the right kind of gives you an idea of how that kind of breaks off. You typically would be going on co-op after your second year, and that kind of shows you how it kind of breaks down. But remember, when you're on co-op, you're not paying tuition. So even though you're in a 5-year program, you're only paying 4 years of tuition. And then for other areas like business and liberal arts, the lower example kind of lets you know how it kind of breaks down. For students that are, if you want to know more major specific, I recommend going to joboutlook.rit.edu. You're able to find more concrete information regarding your individual program. If you're interested in engineering or computer science or psychology, it'll be able to tell you where students are going on co-op and how much money they're getting paid and how much money they're making after graduation. We have a very vibrant campus. We have over 300 clubs and organizations and over 1,300 events. So that's 3 to 4 major events every single day. And about 10% of our campus does participate in Greek life. If you tell me you're bored, I don't know where you are because you're not here at RIT. There is something for everyone, both environmental, social. There's something for you no matter what. A little bit about our Q Center. So we provide guidance and resources for our LGBTQIA+ community, as well as we offer safe zone and ally training for those that choose to want to learn more about the community. We do have gender inclusive housing, and we have a large range of clubs and organizations through our Q Center for our deaf and queer population. To all these different events are housed through the Q Center that help fund all these different clubs and organizations for our queer students of color. So there's something for everyone. So if you want to know more information, I can definitely in the chat talk a little bit more, or you can talk directly to our Q Center. They're really wonderful people, and they're here to kind of help you and make our community very safe and make you feel included. How to apply to RIT. So you can apply directly to the program, or you can apply to our exploration programs. So if you know you want to be in film and animation, you can apply first day, start working on your first film. But if you're not necessarily sure, you can go through our exploration options, and you're guaranteed a spot within the college base. And then with university, while we don't guarantee on-time graduation, we have seen a success in that program, but you're able to really explore it before making a final decision when it comes to majors. We have differential admission, so I definitely recommend listing a first, second, or third choice, especially if you're looking at a competitive program. When we're looking at an application, we're really looking at your GPA, your class rank. If you're taking honors or above, we're SAT, ACT optional for this fall and then upcoming semesters. We'll look at your letters of recommendation, essays. What are you guys doing? Brag about yourself, activities, interests, awards. And if you're looking for degrees in the schools of art, design, and film and animation, there is a portfolio requirement needed for that program. So I kind of gave you a really fast nutshell, but we do offer a full presentations every day at 3 o'clock. But if you have additional questions, feel free to email me or the Q Center directly for any questions that you might have.
Great, thank you so much. Just a reminder that the Q&A is available should you have any questions. Broad ones for all of our presenters or specific ones for a given institution are certainly welcome. Up next, pleased to introduce the University of New Hampshire.
Hey everyone, my name is Evan Beals. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at the University of New Hampshire. I'm going to start out with location. I always think it's important as we think about coming up to the Northeast for school to recognize that we're located in the Northeast region of our state, located about 10 minutes from the ocean, about 45 minutes from the White Mountains of New Hampshire. And Boston, Massachusetts and Portland, Maine are just about an hour away by car or by train. We actually have an Amtrak Downeaster stop that's located right on campus at what we call the Dairy Bar. So grab an ice cream cone and hop on the train to get either down into the Boston area or up into Portland about 6 times per day. As you can see from those photographs, there's lots going on, both academic and recreational, in all of these different areas, and our location is a very important part of the experience here at the University of New Hampshire. UNH is made up of about 13,000 undergraduate students, so we're considered a medium-sized institution. 2,500 or so graduate students really helps us focus right down in on the undergraduate experience here at UNH. As we talk about some of the big experiences like research and internships, just focusing in on making sure that we understand that those opportunities are really afforded to undergraduate students here at UNH. About 45% of our students come from the state of New Hampshire, which means that those of you coming from out of state are in really great company. The majority of our students come from over 48 different states and 70 countries from around the world. There's over 100 majors and programs here at UNH spread across 5 college divisions. You can see them all here on the screen. However, what we really boil this down to is just understanding that all students can find an academic home here at UNH, whether that's in the Fine and Performing Arts in the College of Liberal Arts, or our Paul College of Business and Economics, to our College of Engineering and Physical Sciences, and the College of Health and Human Services. There's really something for everyone, and it allows our students to explore, try new things, and really find a major and program where they're happy, where they feel fulfilled, and that they can find a passion to move forward through their degree. All of these degrees and programs are funded through both federal and private funding through our land, sea, and space grant status as an institution. So here's where we bring it back to that imbalance of undergraduate and graduate students. UNH is an R1 or Research 1 institution, kind of the highest status of research that's occurring in the United States. This is all culminated at the Undergraduate Research Conference, which is one of the oldest and largest in the country. So just a really great opportunity for students to showcase their work that really starts in freshman, sophomore year. In terms of student life, generally speaking, UNH is a very residential campus community. About 96% of our first-year students live on campus. As students get older, they may feel the need to move off campus. However, even our off-campus apartments are located within walking distance of campus. UNH is home to Division I athletic teams, hockey and football, definitely the 2 largest programs on campus, drawing a lot of attention. But our student organizations are the real powerhouse here at UNH. So over 250 of these student-led organizations are where you call home on nights and weekends, where you're meeting new friends and meeting new people with similar interests. To dive specifically into some of our LGBTQ student initiatives, I always start with talking about the Beauregard Center for Equity, Freedom, and Justice. That's kind of our student center on campus for any of our marginalized identities. Beyond that, our student-led organizations like the UNH Alliance, Trans UNH, OSTEM or Out in STEM, and our student athlete organization, You Can Play UNH, allows students both affinity and support resources throughout so many different areas of campus. These last bullet points on the bottom here just serve to kind of showcase some of our support resources for students from an administration perspective. So all of our residence halls have gender inclusive housing options and gender inclusive restrooms and common spaces. Our counseling center has specific support resources for LGBTQIA students, faculty, and staff. Our health services center is proud to be one of the leaders and groundbreakers in our transgender health resources section, allowing students to seamlessly continue or even start their transgender health transition process. UNH also hosts a chosen name policy. And lastly, one of my favorite campus traditions is our annual LGBTQ pancake breakfast, fully served with rainbow pancakes each April. So some really great resources there. I'll kind of wrap up here by showing just some application process pieces. We are an early action school, so no binding decisions here at UNH. We're on the common application and we are test optional. The transcript will be the most important part of your application process. But overall, I'd really just encourage all of you to reach out to any of our admissions staff. You're welcome to snap a picture of this screen here that has my contact information, or I'll make sure that I put it in the chat for you as well. So thanks everyone for joining us, and hopefully we'll be able to talk with all of you again soon.
Great, thanks so much, Evan. Our next presentation this evening comes to us from SUNY New Paltz. And Laura, you are muted.
You think I would get the hang of this after all this time. I apologize, everyone. My name is Laura Morcone. I am she, her pronouns, and I am one of the directors at SUNY New Paltz. I am actually going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to drive you more towards our website than do a PowerPoint presentation, and just hit you with some fast facts, and then talk to you about our LGBTQ plus inclusivity, equity, and inclusion that we have here at SUNY New Paltz. So SUNY New Paltz, we have about 6,800 students at the undergrad level. And in case you don't know where we are located, we are about an hour north of Bergen County, New Jersey. So we're not too far, depending on where you are in New Jersey at this time. And we're right in the heart of the Hudson Valley. So right between New York City and Albany, New York, and right on Interstate 87. So it's a nice quick drive up the Northway for you. Our average class size is less than 30 students. So that also, yields a small environment where you can know your professor and your professor can know you. And that's really important for us here at New Paltz to know, because even as a state school, sometimes there's a common misconception that we are a large institution, you get lost in the crowd. It's quite the opposite at New Paltz. And our professors and staff make sure that all students feel welcome and included here. And just in general, we have over 100 majors and programs to choose from. So again, I pulled up the website because we kind of want to drive you here as well. And everything on newpaltz.edu/admissions. All of the majors and minors that we offer here can be found right in our toolbar and everything like that. So again, just wanted to give you a quick idea of where all of our information is found, because I know you're getting a lot of information thrown at you today. So I just want to make sure that you have that at your fingertips. One thing I'm going to jump to quickly is just a couple slides on the process for freshman admission, and then we'll go into transfer admission because, hey, sometimes New Paltz isn't your top choice, but you end up finding a way here. And we have a great transfer population, so if you don't start here, we welcome you with open arms down the line. So for our freshman admission requirements, we are looking for a high school transcript. Typical GPA is at least a 90. 0.0 GPA. We also require letters of recommendation and an essay. Right now we are SAT and ACT optional. We are hoping that we'll keep that in the future, but that is a SUNY policy right now. So hopefully that SUNY as a whole, as our governing body, will keep it that way. So just kind of wanted to give you a sense that right now it's not required, at least for the next year. I'm not sure how that will come down the pipe. We do have an early action process. So that is the non-binding admission to New Paltz. If you get in, we would love to see you here, but that does not require you to come. That's a little bit different than early decision. We do have 7-year medical programs and optometry programs, meaning that you come to New Paltz for 3 to 4 years, and then you transfer and get your doctorate, in the field of study, whether it's a doctor of optometry or a DO as an option. So again, we do have a doctoral programs here at SUNY New Paltz, and general admission deadline, similar to many other colleges, is May 1st. So that means by the May 1st of your senior year, you'd have to let us know whether or not you're coming. And again, as transfer requirements, the it's a little bit different to apply. We would just need your college transcripts unless you have less than 45 credits earned. So stereotypically speaking, 3 semesters at another college typically will get you right around 45 credits. So I always say if you're about a year and a half at another institution, we're probably going to need your high school transcript just to verify your graduation date. But other than that, 45 credits or more, we just need your college transcripts, and we're looking for about a 2.75 GPA as a transfer student. And the last thing I'll show you here is, let me just skip ahead here, is our tuition and fees, right? You have your tuition, your fees, and your room and board. So tuition is the actual cost that it comes for you to sit and learn. Your fees in room and board are going to be the same whether you're in state or out of state. So fees are something like technology fee, athletic fee, something along those lines. And room and board is actually just a fancy way, short way to say your housing and your meal plan. So that doesn't change whether you're in state or out of state either. So you can see the difference is really just in the tuition for out of state residents here at SUNY New Paltz. And then last thing I want to show you again, we do have an LGBTQ, a very large LGBTQ community at SUNY New Paltz. I am a proud and out member of the LGBTQ community here at New Paltz. So there is a lot of different options that you have. We have inclusive housing options. We have an LGBTQ living learning community, similar to some of my other colleagues who spoke. Ours is called Rivera House, named after the icon Sylvia Rivera, and we are the first living learning community LGBTQ based in New York State. So we're very proud of that. We're also one of 5 SUNY schools, and there's 64 schools total. So we're one of 5 that has an LGBTQ coordinator specifically for LGBTQ plus issues. And we also have a specific LGBTQ liaison mental health counselor in our counseling staff as well. We have a chosen name policy, again, similar, you've heard that before. So again, when you come to New Paltz, we stick by the name that you have chosen and in your rightful name that is on your ID card. And that can be, we can walk through all of that as well when you get here. And then one little fun fact is that we just started a trans participation committee in the athletic department. So if we have, and which we do here at SUNY New Paltz, have trans or non-binary athletes who want to participate, we have a committee, which I am proudly on, to help navigate, the NCAA regulations and things like that. So that is something that we're very proud of as well. And full disclosure, I am happily married to our LGBTQ coordinator, who's also our Title IX coordinator on campus, Emma Moore-Cohn. So again, having those resources right at our fingertips through the admissions process all the way to when you're a student here at SUNY New Paltz is very important. And not to take up any more time, I know we have a lot of information to get through. I'll drop all my contact information, our LGBTQ plus Instagram account in the chat, and I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much, Laura. Our final presentation before we transition to Q&A comes to us this evening from the Cooper Union.
Hi, thank you. Let me share my screen. Awesome. So hello, my name is Gabby Bukai, and I'm here on behalf of the Cooper Union. I'm an assistant director for admissions, and I'm going to try to make this as brief as my colleagues here. So just to start off with, to orient you, our campus is in the East Village in New York City. You can see a diagram from one of our art students to kind of orient you. We're a small campus. We have 2 academic buildings, an administrative building, and our dorm building, all within 1 block radius of each other. But really, your campus is also the East Village in New York City at large. About half of our students are from New York City, and the other half, call it home very soon thereafter. Just want to start off with our vision as it pertains to this presentation today. We were founded in 1859 by Peter Cooper with 3 schools, 3 tracks in mind that we have to this day in architecture, art, and engineering. And since our founding, we've been open to all, regardless of race, religion, sex, wealth, social status, any status. And we try to live to that history and that mission to this day. Just some values quickly to highlight. We are small, dynamic, diverse, and challenging. We have an 8-to-1 student-faculty ratio. We have just over 800 undergraduate students. Our School of Engineering is our largest school. Then by size, it goes School of Art and School of Architecture. So your class sizes themselves are quite small. The largest you'd have is about 30 students. More typically, it's around 10 to 15 students. But we do have thousands of alumni, a lot of them still within the city to help mentor you. You can see our statistics on race and ethnicity in the bottom here. And we are committed within the enrollment office, within all of our academic schools, to meet weekly, actually, in regards to diversity and inclusion, to report to the school at large and meet with the students to keep ourselves accountable to this mission. So quickly on the School of Engineering, we do have 5 majors, which are chemical, civil, electrical, mechanical, and general. Within electrical, we do have our computer engineering track as well, if you're interested in that. Again, all very small class sizes. Our general engineering is really popular with students who end up going to med school or just want kind of like a general STEM track. But our other tracks are very specific, and many students will go on to do a master's within Cooper as well. We have our School of Architecture, which is a 5-year professional degree. So our students can practice at architecture studios right after graduation. There's about 25 students per year, and everybody works in a shared studio space. You have 3 faculty per your design studio per year at any given time. And you just are making right away. And we do also offer a master's degree for those who are interested. We have our School of Art, which is quite unique. It's an integrated program, which means we have no majors. So you do develop skills across all visual art media. We take about 65 freshmen and 5 to 10 transfers a year. We do also have study abroad across our 3 programs. And then with School of Art in particular, we do grant studio space for 3 years. So after your foundation year where your classes are set, you can choose your own classes and you have your own studio. We have some amazing facilities on campus, including our labs and technical shops that are open to all students. The list kind of goes on and on. We also have our library, our archive, we have our writing center. We have our Department of Humanities and Social Sciences. So students from all 3 schools have a curriculum in the humanities. And we really believe in an interdisciplinary curriculum to best prepare you for life after graduation. The schools themselves are conservatory style, which is why our humanities and social sciences are so important, so that you do feel that kind of liberal arts experience in addition to your specific track. We have our residence hall, peer mentorship, 80 plus clubs, and we are the first to have gender neutral bathrooms and accommodations. We also have a chosen name policy, and more resources available on our website. I realize I'm running short on time here. Quickly on application, we have early and regular decision rounds. We are on the Common App. We are also SAT and ACT test optional for this coming year as well, and hoping to make that permanent. We will ask for your transcripts, letters of rec, and then each specific school has its own like supplemental application experience. Specifically for architecture and art, we do ask you to make original work as part of our application, and all of our admissions are done by our faculty. And lastly, just want to touch on our fees. Every admitted student gets a half tuition scholarship valued at $22,275. And we do offer additional financial aid, both need-based and merit-based, as well as work study. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us. I'll drop my email and our general admissions email in the chat. Wow, 6 minutes is really short, but thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. And thank you to all of our presenters for sharing your institutions with us. And we'll bring everyone back at this point as we do have just a few moments remaining. And I think in those final moments would be interested in hearing from anyone who's willing to share. One thing is that kind of think about a lot is navigating a college search for all students can be a tricky one, but particularly when you're a member of the LGBTQ community and trying to keep those things in mind. And obviously attending a program like this is a great start, but wondering if there's any other advice that you would have for members of the community as they continue on their college search. And whoever has any or is willing to share, certainly feel free to just unmute yourself, no particular order.
I would say that through this process, you definitely kind of want to maintain true to yourself, keep open through the process. As you look for a home for the next 4 years, it'll be important to make sure that you find both an academic fit and a social fit that is going to support you in all aspects of your life. And so maintaining kind of your openness and being true to yourself will benefit you greatly through the process.
I would echo that. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I would just add to talk to current students. I think, you can read so much online and we can tell you all these support and resources that we have at our institutions, but talking with current students, whether that's someone you find in the student center or the student sitting in the admissions office, just to talk about their experience on an inclusive environment or what they were looking for in their college search process.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I was going to say, connect with a student because what they were thinking as they applied and what they think in their lived experience can shift. And of course, you're going to see like the rosiest image of any school as it's being pitched to you in high school. So really hearing about that lived experience and being open to the fact that your experience will also evolve over time and staying, flexible to that, and also being willing to improve the culture at your school too. I think everybody with all these amazing resources can admit that it can always get better. And that really is developed by the participation of current students who are willing to improve the culture at their schools and keep their institutions accountable. So, I would say come willing to contribute as much as you're able, and also ask for help when you need it.
Yeah, and I would echo everything that my colleagues are mentioning in different institutions. I would say one of the things that I find the most useful for students is we have in person and right now virtually open houses with our Q Center, with our diversity and inclusion department, with the academic sessions, and feel free to ask your questions. If you don't want to do it publicly, do it privately. Just make sure that you feel like this is a school that you can feel included in, that you will feel that you can ask any question. And if we're not able to, we maybe had never had anyone ask, that's an area for us to grow in. And our Q Center is always willing to, go the extra mile and, making sure that if you're having issues, even starting the conversation with a faculty or professor, they're there to okay, let's talk about how you can do it. But if you don't feel comfortable, hey, let us step in and help you through that as well. So that's one of the things I tell students is just ask questions, just get to know us. And if I don't know the answer, I'll get you to someone that can actually answer your question.
Great. Thank you all for sharing that advice, as well as sharing your institutions with us earlier in the program. And thank you to everyone for tuning in and joining us. At the conclusion of this program, you'll be prompted with a quick 4-question survey, and we would appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, just a reminder that all of the fairs as part of LGBTQ College Fair have been recorded and will be available in about a week's time at strivescan.com/LGBTQ. Thanks again for joining us, and have a great night.